Welcome to Gay Fairfax, the Washington, D.C. area's only weekly gay cable magazine sharing news, views, and pride. I'm Dave Hughes.
And I'm Michelle Michaels. Each week we'll feature events and personalities of interest to gay men and women in Northern Virginia.
On this edition, we'll find
nationwide campaign to count and counter hate crimes, and we decided that we would like to become a player in that. And that's how today came about, and that's how our press conference came about.
For the entire year that I was on the board, this study committee came up with the means to establish an 800 number in the Commonwealth of Virginia to enable lesbian and gay citizens who had had crimes committed against them on account of their sexual orientation to call in and to log these crimes.
The project is actually being tied into Virginians for Justice, which is the statewide lobbying organization. And what we have done is, in conjunction with them, we have set up an 800 number. It's 1-800-2-JUSTICE. And it's going to be an 800 line statewide based in Richmond for the reporting of crimes, hate crimes against gays and lesbians, PWAs, and bisexuals. It's a terrific thing for the state. We have a logo. The logo is a black box with a pink triangle in the center. Imposed over the pink triangle is a lambda, and inside the lambda is an arm reaching up holding onto a phone with the phone cord coming down. Very vibrant, very eye-catching. What Alexandria is going to do is Shirley Lesser, who spoke at the press conference today, who is the chair of the Hate Crimes Issues Task Force for Virginians for Justice, is going to take back to their board the idea that we would like to use that logo so that we have continuity throughout the state for our ad campaign. What we're looking to do is, in the fall, we are hosting the Creating Change Conference for the National Gay and Lesbian Task Force. As a kickoff to that campaign, we are going to run a series of ads in the major city newspapers and the major campus newspapers within the state of Virginia, which is going to showcase that logo, the telephone number, and then text as to why this is important for Virginia. We did it statewide because we believe that Northern Virginia is kind of an entity unto itself. We need to really branch out and approach the rest of the state, and we think that this is going to be a great way to get out there and reach people.
This hate crimes hotline, which would then begin gathering the statistics that we would like for other authorities to have gathered for us, given that this is now a federal law, that hate crime statistics will be gathered. But in the absence of any political entity doing that kind of hate crime statistics, we are willing to undertake it ourselves. I don't know the actual language of the federal statute. I believe that all states are required to catalog these statistics, but within the bill, the federal bill, there was no means for enforcement of this. There was no money. There was no money allocated for state and local jurisdictions to spend time gathering the statistics, and I believe that there really is no mechanism at the state level to do this. I think that it's a trickle-down effect. I assume that the federal legislation will go through the FBI, perhaps to the state level. I don't know what entity at the state level is responsible for this. So it's a slow trickle-down effect, and we in Virginia wish to speed this up because we know that crimes against lesbians and gay men occur daily.
Some other things that Alexandria is going to be doing as far as hate crimes are concerned is we're going to launch a community outreach program, and we're going to hold sometime during the course of '91, preferably before the Creating Change Conference, a community forum where we can bring together the Jewish, people of color, women, victim assistance, basically all the communities that are affected by hate crimes. Bring them together and let everyone just speak to the community on how they've been affected, and how just because you're Jewish or just because you're a person of color or you're gay or a lesbian, it doesn't matter, you know, what you are. The fact is you had hate crimes perpetrated. And the reason we think this is important is because we feel that unless we build bridges with all of these communities, our message won't be heard as strongly. So we're looking for that to back us up when we go to the legislature, back us up when we talk to city council people, to show that it is a universal problem and that this is something that everyone needs to be concerned with.
Back when the initial board of directors met to plan out a strategy for the coming year, we selected 4 priorities for the organization based on need, frankly, among other things. The top priority was the need for whatever priority we selected. And hate crime statistics gathering was one of the top 4. Each individual on the board knew that hate crimes were being committed daily. I mean, we often know of individuals who have had crimes perpetrated against them on the basis of their sexual orientation. And we know also that the issues of crimes against lesbians and gays, or lesbian and gay rights in general, will never be taken seriously until we statistically can prove that either we are a viable minority that is hated, or that has that is denied our rights, or that in fact there are crimes committed against us on the basis of our sexual orientation. And in that respect, we will be, once we gather those statistics, we will be educating the general public and hopefully the electoral process.
A hate crime can be anything from a verbal assault, being called a dyke or a fag. It can be a threat against your life. It can be a threat against your property or your pets. It can be a physical assault, broken bones, a beating with a bat, a fist, and it can be murder. Also, which I didn't really realize until I had spoken with GLAAD, it can also be in the press and in the mainstream literature. It can be derogatory comments on a radio station about, you know, your community, about gays and lesbians. It can be print media with a picture that's derogatory to gays and lesbians. Anything like that can be considered a hate crime.
If we can publicize enough that we are doing this, then the word will get out not only to lesbians and gay men at every local level, to know that there are those of us out there who want to hear from them, who understand that they are isolated and fearful if they will admit to crimes against them on the basis of their sexual orientation. And that we can then get people interested in what we're doing. And then we can affect change with the general public who don't maybe realize that there are crimes being committed against lesbians and gay men.
Oh, an individual can get involved in many ways. The first thing that they should do is either contact Virginians for Justice or the Alexandria Gay and Lesbian Community Association. Let us know that you're out there and let us know you're willing to help us out. They can do a number of things. They can volunteer with us. They can volunteer to get our publicity out. They can volunteer to help us with our press releases. They can volunteer to help us with the ad campaign for the fall. VJ, I know, with their business card publicity campaign, are going to need a lot of people that are out there on the streets to distribute and to really help them out grassroots-wise. Also, we could use your donations. I mean, that is, if you can't come out and physically help us out, please send your donations into either organization because they're desperately needed for this.
We intend to talk with many more Republicans because it's always assumed that Democrats are more favorably inclined to liberal issues, which is not necessarily the case. But we know we have friends in the Republican Party also. We know we have people who believe in human rights and believe in not being discriminated against, and that crosses party lines. So we will be working for the next 2 years as an educational process. Again, on this specific issue, collecting the statistics that we know are out there regarding crimes against lesbians and gay men.
So there is hope.
There's definitely hope. There always has to be hope. We wouldn't be doing the work we're doing if there wasn't hope of creating change.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Each week when you tune in to Gay Fairfax, you see only a small portion of the crew that really makes this show happen. Lighting technicians, camera operators, floor directors, technical directors, these are the people who really make this show happen. To become a part of our crew, please write to us, care of the Fairfax Lesbian and Gay Citizens Association, Post Office Box 2232, Springfield, Virginia 22152, or call us, area code 703-451-9528.
This program, Gay Fairfax, is one of many activities of the Fairfax Lesbian and Gay Citizens Association, otherwise known as FLGCA. Founded in 1988, the members have grown to over 300 gay men and women. Kevin Nitz is the new president of this group, and he met with Barry Forbes to discuss their goal of creating a sense of family in the Fairfax gay community.
Kevin Nitz, thank you very much for joining us on Gay Fairfax today, and I should congratulate you for becoming the new president of the Fairfax Lesbian and Gay Citizens Association. How does it feel?
Feels wonderful. It's hard to follow in such footsteps as yourselves and Beth's, but it's wonderful so far.
Terrific. Well, tell me a little bit about the organization. It's the Fairfax Lesbian and Gay Citizens Association. What are your objectives as an organization?
Our main objective is to educate the public, mainly Fairfax County and then all of Northern Virginia and suburban Washington, and to provide a social outlet for those gays and lesbians living in Northern Virginia. We also try to meet with some of the Board of Supervisors and keep them informed when we can, when they will listen to us. And we also have been involved in Richmond in helping to lobby for the ABC reform.
That seems to be quite a full plate for the organization. How many people are on your mailing list of the FLGCA, or the Fairfax Lesbian and Gay Citizens Association?
Approximately 300 at this time, but we'd like more and encourage anyone to join that wishes.
Well, tell me now that you're president of the organization, you certainly have the focus of the group down, the community of the gays and lesbians in the county, education, and the political process. What are your objectives as the incoming president of the group?
Well, this year is especially good because it's an election year. All of the House of Delegates are up for election this fall, and so is in the Board of Supervisors, and we hope to make a big impact on all of those and hopefully be able to elect some that are sympathetic towards our cause. And also, we just want to continue, hopefully, to expand our Speakers Bureau, which goes out and educates some of the high schools and various other groups, churches, and whoever wishes to invite us.
Well, why is it important to be involved in the political process? Isn't Fairfax County a good place to be if you're gay?
In some respects, and others no. We still have, as I said, the ABC. You know, it isn't.
The ABC is the Alcoholic Beverage Control Board?
Yes, you can't serve a known homosexual alcohol in the state of Virginia at this time, even though it's an archaic law and is not enforced. It could be at this time. And also, we still are trying to lobby to keep a lot of AIDS funding in Northern Virginia because we're right outside of D.C., so sometimes we get forgotten, but we're trying to do that, and if we have a representation politically, we can achieve that.
Well, how will you be getting more involved with the political process? Will you be reviewing candidates, working on their campaigns? What kind of strategies have you worked up so far to accomplish that goal?
Well, soon we should be coming out with a questionnaire that will be coming to our membership. So.
Well, how did you do with this week's gay trivia question? Here's Peg with the answer.
Lorena Hickok was a White House correspondent for the Associated Press during the Great Depression. Her moving reports on the effects of poverty across the United States secured her job at the White House and encouraged FDR's